Welcome back to Talking Fitchburg, everybody. This is going to be a really interesting segment, I have to say. Always like to have this guy on the show. It's Rick Eilertson. He's from upstairs in the Public Works Department. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
Our environmental engineer. I do want to say it right, don't want to get in trouble with you.
Right.
So how have you been? Having a good summer so far?
I am. Yep.
You are? Busy guy? You're always busy.
Lots of stuff happening.
Lots of stuff happening. So we're going to start off with the Lacey Heights neighborhood. Why don't you tell us a little bit what's going on up there?
Right. So when Lacey Heights was developed, there was a dry pond put in. So basically, it's just an open, low area in the landscape. It's its own separate outlet for stormwater detention. So it helps to provide the water quantity control, but it doesn't do anything for water quality or for infiltration. So we were able to just finish up the retrofit of that just within the last week or two. And we've got some photos that we'll put on the website shortly, but we've converted it into there's a small wet pond right by the large bur oak tree that's on the property, and then that drains into an infiltration facility that we were able to actually utilize yard waste that we accept at the drop-off site, and then that yard waste we run through our compost facility, and then we salvage gravel and sand from the site. Took that over to a local quarry and then mixed that with our compost and brought that back to the site for engineered soil. So there's a 2-foot thickness of engineered soil in that infiltration facility portion that helps, so now that facility provides both the water quantity control that it did before, but also the water quality control and infiltration. So we put in native vegetation throughout the whole property limits, and so over the next 3 to 5 years, we'll be managing that as more of a native prairie restoration project. So it looks really nice right now already, and it'll look even better in another 3 years.
How do you come up with a plan like that to take the compost and how do you guys start to decide how you're going to, accomplish this task?
It's all about resource management, Jeremy. So it's looking at what we have right now, what we have as resources that at one time we thought of as more waste. And so looking at what are some of the components of that, can we reutilize those in our own projects, or get them to other beneficial reuses. So a lot of it's understanding what other people are doing that's innovative and working in the area, and both local, state, and national projects, and then identifying what makes sense for us right here in Fitchburg.
That's pretty cool indeed. So talk about the McKee stormwater project.
Yeah, so we just got notification from the contractor that they're ready to start. Badgerland Construction is the contractor for the Schumann Greenway restoration and McKee Farms Northwest Pond enlargement. So it's the pond right next to the McKee Farms splash pad, which now is operational again, is what I hear.
Yep, opened up this week.
Yeah, so anyway, the pond that's right by there, we're actually enlarging from about a ½ acre in size to about 1 acre total in size. We'll be removing a berm that's there currently, and then actually restoring the Schumann Greenway from Richardson Street all the way through to that pond, right on there's the driveway that goes off of Brendan Avenue into the main entrance into McKee Farms Park. So that whole, it's about 1,200 foot stretch of greenway, and then the pond right there will be restored. Generally, we should be able to get it done in the next month and a half or so with the contractor.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Will you have this kind of roped off then and whatnot?
The contractor will have construction fencing more just around the trees that we want to preserve, and then we already put signage at 3 points along the project just to let people know what's happening, and then we'll obviously have the contractor be responsible for safety precautions when they're operating equipment.
So just be careful out there. When
be
you're
careful
down
out there, right? Exactly.
All right. Last but not least for this morning, I know you can't. Maybe you can kind of see it in the wine shot here.
Right.
We're going to talk a little bit about the light project that's happening on. It's happening on McKee Road and it's happening on Fish Hatch Road. So I'm going to hold up the lights while you talk about this.
Awesome.
All right?
Awesome. Yeah. So Erica Klutmeyer, our sustainability specialist, was able to get us a grant for $75,000 of money with us spending about $25,000. So this is, you're holding up the new LED Cobra headlights that will be replacing the current ones. The current ones that we have range from about a 200 watt light fixture up to a 250 light fixture.
Impressive.
Yeah, so and that's called the Cobra head because it looks like, kind of like a cobra, just ready to swallow you up.
There we go. I was trying to hold it up.
That's pretty large for you there, Jeremy.
Yeah,
pretty heavy.
It's pretty impressive to see this up close.
Yes.
When you're looking up at a street lamp, you wouldn't think that they're this big. But
Yeah, when they're 100 feet away, they look a lot smaller.
really kind of big here. There you go. I said I want a selfie with this.
You got your workout for the morning, Jeremy.
But in all seriousness here, these cut down on cost for running them, which is pretty impressive.
So you can see the numbers in them. The numbers, on the old style, just the 20 and the 25. That's you add a 0 to it, and that's the number of watts of the fixture. So the LED is 133. So it's not it's a reduction in the wattage that's used. But the other thing that Holly Powell, our GIS engineering specialist, will be able to talk about next week with you is just what the benefits that this actually has for better light during night. Obviously, this the lights are there for safety during night and visibility, and so what we found through research with other communities is that by replacing the lights with LEDs like this, you have better lighting, but also you reduce the amount of energy usage.
There you go. We appreciate you always stopping in. We're going to be interviewing Holly and taking you in depth into this light project. So,
Excellent.
Rick, we always appreciate you being on, and we'll see you next month.
Sounds great.
All right, we'll
Thanks,
be right
guys.
back. It's Talking Fitchburg.